Hey everybody, it's Sean. Today we are talking about my 2025 competition RC drift setup. I want to show you my chassis, the electronics I've been using, and I also want to show you my hauler bag where I put all my stuff and try to keep everything organized when I'm going to the track. I think it's going to be a cool video. I've been doing this every year now since I got into RC drift, and it's fun seeing where things have come from and how they've changed over the years. And I want to show you guys a little bit about that. So if that sounds good to you, let's hop on into it, and make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I'll try to answer as best I can with the knowledge I have. And if not, I'll try to point you in the right direction of somebody who does. So let's hop into it. This is my chassis right here. It is a Rhino Racing Shark. It is almost a complete Shark except for the rear arms. The rear arms are still plastic, which you'll see here in a second. But it has been a really good chassis that I've been having fun with. I've had a lot of people that helped me kind of get this thing where it is now, which I'm really grateful for. So thank you everybody who's ever given me any advice, because it's taken a lot going from no RC drift experience to trying to have a lot. And these cars are hard to jump into if you don't know a lot. So make sure you make some friends at the track and get some pointers and advice, because it'll go a long way to making this a lot more fun for you. The body on this is an MST GR86. It's a really nice budget body. I think I only paid around $65 for it probably a year and a half ago when I built it up. It's got some fun accessories, plenty of stickers on it. I got a Rock Pirates crawler roof rack right there. A nice, we call it big wing on these streets over here. A nice big carbon fiber looking wing that I got from Super G. That's where I do all my shopping for the most part on all of this stuff. Pretty much everything here you can get from Super G, so make sure you go check them out and try to find whatever you're looking for. They got really some rare parts sometimes too, so just keep your eye out. You can find a lot of cool stuff there. So talking about a little bit about the setup of my chassis, I'm not really going to talk about offsets on wheels because every chassis is going to be a little bit different how you set it up. So that'll be something you have to just fine tune and figure out. Try to get somebody that has a couple sets of wheels that you can test out. That way you can figure it out, because it'll save you some time and some money. But other than that, we're going to jump into the actual chassis itself and start checking things out here. I'm going to throw you guys in an overhead and try to get you a little bit better of an angle so you can see a little bit more of this car. All right, let's dive on in closer a little bit on this chassis. Show you what is underneath this cool looking body. Well, first off, shout out to AJ for the cool little dice. Those are fun. Also, shout out to Rogue Factory. Those are the boys I hang out with all the time. Appreciate them. Here is the chassis itself, as you can see. Really, really good looking chassis. This is a Rhino Racing Shark, but it has the Scale Reflex Hydra deck on it. That's what this deck is here. It's the non-flex version, so this is the thicker top plate, so it's not the flexible version, which is important, a lot of people ask about. We got full Yokomo big bores around front and back. Overdose springs in the rear. I don't know the exact spring rate on those. I believe these are Rev D springs up here. My boy Vittorio lent me these, and he still hasn't gotten back. Hope he doesn't mind. Other than that, this chassis is pretty standard with most of the Shark parts, almost complete Shark parts, except for these rear arms back here. Those are still plastic YD2 arms. It's been a really good chassis to drive, honestly. I've really enjoyed it. I've had my issues with it here and there when something kind of goes out of tune and I got to get it back, and finding that is just always a little challenge, but that's kind of how all these chassis are, so that's just kind of what to expect out of these things. This car's been great though. We can start talking about electronics. Start in the back. Most important place, the ESC. My favorite brand, Hobbywing. We actually have some fun stuff cooking up with them, so stay tuned for that. I'm excited to announce some stuff there. For the motor, right now I'm running an AccuVance 10.5. This has been a fun test. I actually have the Hobbywing 13.5 and then a 10.5 turn from AccuVance, so I've been kind of bouncing back and forth testing both of them. Not sure what I like most yet, but that's what's fun about RC Drift, is it really is a test thing. It's not so much that you're in a motor class so you can only do certain things. You're actually just kind of whatever you want your chassis to be, you can set it up that way. That's why everybody has such different setups, and it's really cool to try and see other people's stuff, because they'll give you some tips on things that you wouldn't expect. So that's always nice. So yeah, ESC motor. I think the gearing is 88. And I believe that is a 19. I can't read it. It's either a 19 or a 20. It's one of the two on the pinion, 88, 19. That's something that is really track dependent, so you want to make sure you kind of dial that in for what you need it to be. One important thing on this Rhino Racing Shark, I am running the CLSD in the rear. Those are really cool. It allows your rear end to do this. And then when you're on throttle, it actually will lock up both at the same time, but then free spin when you're off throttle. And you can kind of set that by springs and actual gearing inside of that. So that's a really cool upgrade for almost every RC drift car you'll hear. Most people, at least the last couple of years, have tried these or are still running those in their car. And they're just one of those things that is kind of cool, makes it a little bit more of a realistic feeling RC car, where it kind of imitates a real car in a sense more so, which is really cool. For the gyro, I am running the Yokomo V4 gyro. I've actually really enjoyed this gyro. It's super easy to set. There's not a lot to think about, which is nice because some of the other ones are kind of a lot of tuning that you have to do to them, and I just haven't had the mind space to kind of really dive into that. So I haven't jumped that far yet into like the GYDs. There's a 550, I think there's a 560 now, which is crazy. The servo that I'm paired with on the V4 is the Rev D RS ST. It is not the Pro model that is out now, it's just the base model. And I've enjoyed it a lot. It's worked really great for me, so I have no complaints about that. Then, since we've talked about all the other electronics, we'll talk to the radio. I'm using a Futaba radio. That's been my go-to for the last few years too. Ever since I got into RC Drift, I've really enjoyed the Futaba stuff. This is my 4PM. It's kind of my beater radio. I don't have a nice, fancy, expensive one. This is kind of it, and I'm kind of fine with that until it breaks, because honestly, I've gotten so much use out of this. We've gone rock crawling, dirt racing. It's kind of dirty. There's dust everywhere, actually. That's all from the dirt track where we're doing some off-roading. But I love this thing. This thing's great. Also, other thing that makes this thing run is our batteries. I'm running Genzace batteries. I've had really good luck with these so far. These I actually won in the Super G raffle at Worlds last year when we were drifting this car. So these are really cool. I'm really thankful that I won these in the raffle. Super G's awesome for that. If you guys haven't competed or ever checked out the Worlds, go check it out. It's really, really crazy. It's a spectacle. RC Drift is much bigger than a lot of people think, which is pretty cool. So I always keep that in my little Scale Reflex battery safe bag. Whenever I transport them, I keep them both together. I try not to ever leave it in the car if I'm not driving it that day or very, very soon after, because I think it's just a bad habit that you want to avoid. It's one of those battery safety things you should not risk. Other than that, that is the chassis itself, the car with all the electronics, shocks, everything like that. My shocks, I have a whole video. It's a couple years old now, but that video is still exactly with the same stuff I'm running in these shocks. So I'll try to link that somewhere so you guys can find it if you're ever curious about the big bore setup that I have. Same thing front and back. There's not a ton of changes that went into that. The setup on this actual chassis as far as alignment, that's one of those things you're really gonna have to do yourself at your own track to something that just feels good, works with all your turns, and works with your style of driving, because that's the most important thing, is how you drive is gonna dictate a lot. And you really just gotta work on that and kind of find that balance, that sweet spot that you enjoy there. Okay, so now that we've gotten the car pretty much talked about and figured out, let's hop into my roller, and I want to show you what I keep with me, what I bring with me, and talk about that a little bit. All right, so this is my Yokomo roller. This thing's pretty sweet. I don't keep anything in this top pouch. I don't know who does, because it's kind of a pain to get to. Out here on this front pouch right here, I keep my caliper. It's a nice little zipper pocket. Throw that right there in there. Keep that there. Obviously it's double zippered on both sides, and this flips up. You got your custom area for all your stickers. That's one thing that's cool, is everybody's creativity and all the fun stickers they pick up along the way. Now, first up here, box with the radio on it. Has a charger in it. I don't know why it's got a charger in it, but I keep my charger in here. So I got an iCharger X6, which is a little mini guy with a long cable extension to my bullet plugs. Those are 4/5 millimeter bullet plugs, so it works on pretty much all the batteries I can need. That goes to my actual PC power supply. That powers everything. I get some extra power on there for chargers and stuff like that for my phone, which is nice. There's a couple Worlds actual tires left over, which is fun. I like keeping stuff like that. And yeah, so that's that drawer. Got some stickers in there, some fun stuff like that. My radio goes in this one. Usually just keep a rag and my radio in there just to keep things kind of softer, and if I ever need to wipe it down, I got a clean rag there, which is always nice. Car in the middle, keep that boy safe. And then this bottom drawer, usually an accessory drawer, and then I got a couple little tool pouches that also have some accessory parts and stuff like that in them. Just some random stuff. Here I keep extra parts for the mini drift car and also the big drift car, a little manual, bunch of stuff. I try to be organized because you never know what you need. It's usually too much, but hey, it's here in case I need it or somebody else does, which is always good. Beep, beep, beep. Underneath that, this is kind of like my mini toolkit that I always have in this bag. There's not a ton of stuff in this, but it's just kind of the essentials. My wrenches, camber gauge, tweezer in case I got to pull shims or something out of somewhere. 3M tape, always helpful. A little bit of blue Loctite because you never know when you got to snug something up that keeps coming loose. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, also a wheel nut wrench. Don't forget the wheel nut wrench in there. And yeah, that's pretty much all that goes in this one. Sometimes if I have extra stuff or if I want other chargers for cell phones or whatever, camera stuff, I'll throw it in here too because there's a little bit of room. I could throw my little micro drift car in here too now. I could get that all situated, which would be sweet. So there's plenty of room in these boxes. You can go a long ways. And the RC drift side of the hobby, you don't need a ton of space in your actual box. It doesn't take a ton of room, which is very nice. All right, so that's gonna do it for what I keep in my bag and what I bring with me when I compete for RC drifting or practice, anything like that. Everything lives in here except for the camera stuff. That's got its own bag. If you guys ever wanna see that, let me know. I could show you my camera stuff. My bigger toolbox I did not put in this video because I'm going to make another video talking about my RC racing bag, which is a much bigger bag than this because you need a lot more stuff for that. But I'm going to talk about that toolbox there, but that has a lot of stuff that I kind of bring with me also. I keep that in the truck or the car when I'm at the track. That way, in case I really am in a jam, I have like a really good home-based toolkit that has parts that are like ones you wouldn't expect to have. So I'll show you guys that in the next one. So make sure you subscribe to see that. Please drop a like. It would really help me out. I've been appreciating all the support lately. You guys are awesome. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. That's pretty sweet. I did not expect that to happen, so thank you very much. I'm very excited for that. So we're just going to keep working and keep making cool stuff for you all to enjoy. And I appreciate it. I hope to see you soon. And thank you for watching.